Here we go. And we are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the VR Link. My name is GT from Gamertag VR. To my left is Salsa from Salsa Ketchup. And to my right is Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Hiya.
How you doing, guys? How's everyone in the chat? Thank you for joining.
Good.
Midlife, Fez, how's it going, guys? We was literally just talking about what Midlife has mentioned, a game he's thinking of purchasing called Control. I must be the last person to know about it. What sort of game is it?
It's like this psychic ability type of control game. So you've got like telekinesis and stuff. And if you've got an RTX card, it's all RTX'd up. So it's supposed to look gorgeous, basically, if you've got the RTX going on.
I've got an RTX, but it's the 2070. So would that...
It'll still look pretty damn good. Just, it'll look better on mine, but there you go.
Well, I've got mine pre-ordered for PS4, so I'm looking forward to. I think it's actually the only game I've got pre-ordered for August.
Nice.
For a normal game.
What is it? I take it it's a full retail game, like full price.
Oh yeah, it's a full retail game. Like I say, it's Remedy, and apart from their last game, which we were talking about, and we can't remember what the bloody title of it was.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's crap. So why would we remember? But to be honest, once they did the original Max Payne's, and then they did obviously Alan Wake. So they're allowed one fuck up. So.
It's a flat game, and with the VR Link, so we should move on.
So let's get on with the VR Link.
That's it, yeah. So before I start, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to all of our channels. Thank you to the patrons of my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you're looking to get involved with the channel, check out the Discord, community Discord, which is in the links below. I really appreciate that. And this show is about VR news, what everyone's been playing this week, but also... anything you want us to talk about. So if you check out the Discord, there is a VR Link question section. Basically what we try and do is if you want to put something in there, and the week following we will bring it up as a subject, and hopefully we can talk about it. So let's start. Everyone in chat, what have you been playing? And let's go with Salsa first of all. I think we went with that last week. What have you been playing this week, sir?
What have I been playing? I have been playing Telefrag, which we played that together. So check out each other's videos on that. You'll see my side of me killing him and his side of him killing me.
Preach.
Batwake, Vertigo 2 demo, Oh My Balls, Attack on Titan, and T for God. Did I mention Oh My Balls there? I think you did.
Yes, you did.
It's just fun to do that one out. It's just fun to throw that one out.
What about you, Nat? What have you been playing this week?
I'm getting an echo in my headset.
It comes and goes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, VR not too much. I kind of was gonna play a load of VR today, but to be honest, it's been so hot. But I have played a little bit more Telefrag on PlayStation VR, and I've kind of decided I'm going to swear off that until they add in the aim controller support, which they're promising.
Yeah.
But I've also played a couple of side quest titles. So I had a quick go of T for God as well because Salsa recommended it last week. I only played it for like 15-20 minutes because I still have a lot of space issues here. But really unique, very interesting, and definitely you can see what is possible just from using space that the Oculus Quest offers. So like we talked before the show started about a horror game, utilizing that sort of thing could be absolutely terrifying. Would be amazing. I did a video on my show Future Quest where I talk about Oculus Quest news about a game called Jigsaw 360. So I've actually played the demo of that. Really enjoyed the demo actually. So I will be buying the game, and obviously we'll discuss that later because it's a rather unique way of purchasing that game, shall we say?
Yeah, man.
And I've been playing because I just for some reason every now and again I go on a kick for a certain type of game. So I recently brought Sniper Elite version 2, the remastered version.
Yeah.
Because now I've just gone on to a kick of Sniper Elite games, kind of in preparation for Sniper Elite VR.
Yeah, man.
Which I'm really psyched for. And lastly, even though it's not a VR game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, which is my first Ultimate Alliance game, and I had an absolute blast with that. So, but yeah, so I'm really excited for next week, which obviously again we'll get into.
What did you play Marvel Alliance on the Switch?
Yes, it's only available on the Switch.
Do you know what, dude? I was around my mum's today, and I went through the Switch online catalogue. That is amazing.
They've got a sale on at the moment.
Fantastic stuff on there.
Phenomenal.
I saw VR Racing, Virtual Racing from the arcades, like a deluxe edition. A Digital Foundry have covered it. I'm sure a lot of you watch Digital Foundry. Virtual Racing, if you was a big arcade guy like me, I was always in there playing Daytona, Virtual Racing. There's like nigh on the ultimate version of it on there, and it's £5. Dude, I am going to get that on my son's Switch. I was like...
I still want them to do Virtua Racing
in VR. I know, dude.
Because I played the hell out of Virtua Racer in the arcade back in the day, and they had 4 view buttons. You had 4 different view buttons in the arcade, and the in-cockpit one was labelled VR.
Right. Yeah.
So I need that VR button to be a real VR button on that, so I can actually go, yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah, baby.
That's what I want.
So let's say hello to some people in the chat. We've got Midlife, we've got Preacher, we've got Racket Nx VR. We're going to get onto Vertigo too, dude. I absolutely love that. Decepticon, yeah. Got to give him a couple of seconds to do that. TGK2, how's it going? Who else have we got in here? Because I've got people covering their heads. We've got Memchem, Tony Robbins. Nice, guys. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. I hope you're all pretty well. Who's that at the bottom? What did they say? I can't even read that on there. What's he put in that chat there? Someone's put something like their name is Robbie05, but I can't see the... Oh, yeah. Tony Robbins. It's me, Robbie05. Hello, mate. How's it going? So... this week I played, and I'm just going to go through them because we're probably going to cover some of them anyway. Done the Battle Wake. Actually, I can go in order from the last show. We've done VR Karts, Fugal. Yep. I had a giveaway on that, which was kind of a weird pixel arty game where whatever you touched in the pixel arty world, you turned into. I didn't really understand it. It was kind of meant to be like some sort of meditation, relaxation virtual reality game, and I actually had really good fun because I didn't realise what was going to happen, but yeah, that was pretty cool. We had a giveaway on that. Then we had the I Expect You to Die free DLC, Seat of Power. Did you guys check that out at all?
Not yet, no.
Man, I've done that a lot.
I want to, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, as you know, being from Shell Games. And I managed to smash it live in under 2 minutes. I was really pleased with that. But then I saw Danish done it, but it was a pre-recorded video in about 1 minute and a half or something. So, you know. Then I played 1980X, which was a flat game, traditional game, whatever you want to call it. And it was a sort of a story of a teenager's life going through, I think, the loss of his dad and just growing up in general. And basically he found the arcades and an ability to escape a little bit. And there's 5 games in there. You sort of touch on Streets of Rage, R-Type, Outrun.
Saw a bit of that.
Yeah. It looked like to me, what was the other one? Phantasy Star. And there was one more. Yeah, so that was in there. That was pretty cool. It's only about an hour long, though, to be fair. But you know, if you have an appreciation for pixel art, graphics, and things like that, I thought it was very good and retro. I absolutely loved it. Hello, Madman, how's it going? And then, yeah, Vertigo 2 demo. We're quickly going to talk about that. Salsa, did you play it? Did you say?
No, I watched your stream. I was watching your stream on that one.
Oh yeah, man, that was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Some people said it's the best demo they've played. Someone said so far, and then some people said this year. It is very good. So if you've got PC VRs, just check it out. It's pretty cool. And then Gun Club VR on the Oculus Quest. Check that out. Loved the nice jumping resolution there from the PSVR. That was pretty cool. Tracking I actually found a little bit better, but still struggled because of the inside-out tracking, where if you got the controller too close to your face and you're aiming, the controller was like,
Yeah,
where
they
am I
haven't
going?
quite got the new patch through yet.
Yeah,
have they?
they. I think that I think once that patch comes in, then
Oh,
as
right.
they kind of it'll update big time.
Yeah, well, the one from the Rift S.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then checked out Racket Nx. That was like visually, that is amazing, and it's a great game. But visually, I couldn't actually get over how good it looked. Like when you're holding the racket, and it's like it looks like a techno glass with all circuitry inside. Oh, it was amazing, dude. I could have just looked at it for ages on stream. I was like, this is amazing. But
I've actually bought that game. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and stand up and play it. So, but I'm looking forward to having a go of it.
I think you'll really enjoy it. What else did I play? Until You Fall. Got into the beta for that. That is by Shell Games. Absolutely incredible game, actually. I really, really enjoyed that. That's on the channel. Then I might as well lead into this anyway. Then we've done the Battle Wake beta. That was absolutely amazing. Can't wait for that. And so we might as well go in with Battle Wake, because we were starting to talk about the comparisons of that quickly to Furious Seas. So if I just quickly get up the Battle Wake trailer, which is also, this is coming to Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR. So basically most of the headsets that we all have.
Just before I do it, in the chat, you've got Tony Robbins saying that his Robbie05 account is banned. He's asking you to unban him.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. It might not have been... I know what that is. That was when he was on the Battle Wake stream. He kept writing long things, and he was getting warned by people. Yeah, I remember who he is. Yeah, Robbie05. Yeah, dude, I can unblock you. No worries. It's all good.
Anyhow, let's.
But anyway, let's talk about Battle Wake, because obviously I haven't had a chance to play it, and I think this beta was only for PC. I think the next beta will most probably include PlayStation VR and Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
So that's when I'll get into it. But I'm really excited to hear your thoughts of it.
Tels, have you played it?
I have. I played last night. I was on there, sort of, not last night, the night before on Friday after my stream, and a bit today to sort of like go, oh yeah, through it. Visually, really good. Gameplay wise, seems pretty solid. Quite exciting. It's very arcadey. It's got that definite serious sort of cartoon, serious. Sort of they have sort of like a slight cartoon edge to their games, don't they?
Yeah.
And visually it still has that. As a closed beta, it's looking pretty good so far. We haven't been able to dig into everything. There's going to be like a single player sort of story mode type thing, and then there's going to be a mission thing. The mission one is what's now open. There's a multiplayer, which I didn't get to play online with anybody yet. So I think it's going to end up waiting for the next, the next beta to be able to do the multiplayer for me, unfortunately. But it's really good. I would have to compare it to Furious Seas more than anything else, because they are really similar in gameplay.
So
really.
Midlife just brought one up as well, which is in the live chat when I was playing it. Bow to Blood. Yeah, Bow to Blood. I guess in a way you could say Bow to Blood is quite similar in some ways, but this has got a different feel to it. Same as Furious Seas. It does feel like you're at sea. You're sort of moving around with the waves. If we go down the Furious Seas route, Furious Seas for me is trying to look more realistic. And it does pull it off. It's a fantastic looking game. Battle Wake for me was, as Salsa said, it's more arcadey. It knows it's a game. It's not trying to be a simulator. It is out to make you smile. That's what it does. That's what it's trying to do. It's got like you get different captains have different abilities. Different ships have different sort of statistics and stuff, and special moves. I absolutely loved it. I really
the personal character as well, where the embodiment of your arms.
Yeah.
It's really good, and when you see the miniature versions of your character,
That's it, yeah.
the detail in them is just beautiful.
I loved it, man. The same as Until Fall by Shell Games, having a body in VR, and it's weird, like because I think one of the if you can get it right, it feels more immersive. If the arms feel like they're in the same place as your arms, it can add another layer for me of like, wow, I really feel like I'm in this game, not just a set of hands. So that's nice to see. I absolutely love this, and I did play it online. We've done 4-player co-op. A lot of people said to me that, and yeah, Fez is right as well. It starts up on the lowest settings on the PC, and it looked fantastic. And I was like, oh, maybe it just defaults to your system, and it hadn't. I haven't even tried it on high settings. I set for medium.
I've done it on Epic.
Oh, dude, what was it like? Because I noticed as well, one of the things that seemed to take a hit was the water. You chose how much detail in the water. I imagine the water takes up a lot of power.
Everything, when you put it up to the full whack, 1.4 on the super sampling and Epic across the board, it just looks sweet. It really does.
Yeah.
And it was good on my system, but it just looks really, really good, super sharp. The cartoon graphics look a little bit more real, strangely. It's like that's half mix. It's a half mix.
It is a half mix, yeah, because there's detail in the cartoon graphics. You can't say it's cell shaded, because in cell shading there is nothing. It is just a solid colour.
So yeah, it's not cell shaded. It is sort of like a stylized realism. The detail's gorgeous.
Yeah, Nat looks like he wants to say something.
No, I'm just looking at Danish's comment.
I did get a little thing of it, yeah, something about arms. Yeah, so who we got? Hello everyone, all right, Danish? Yeah, and funny enough, Preacher brought up one I was trying to think of when I mentioned arms and how not to do it was actually Immortal Legacy. It is a good game, don't get me wrong, but you immediately felt like the arms come from your neck, sort of thing. It was very strange. It felt like you was a head and your arms are here, and it was like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like I didn't particularly enjoy that. It was one of the things I mentioned to the devs as well, but I'm sure there was no way they was ever thinking of going to change the arms when they had so many other things that they wanted to improve on, which they have, and the game is a lot better than it was when it came out on launch. Specifically control methods. You all right, Silver? How's it going? Just started Legacy with my chest arms. Yeah. Arms coming out your nipples.
Oh, God. Is your left nipple not working? It's not tuning it in.
Yeah, man. Oh, or the impatient. Yeah, with the impatient actually is a fantastic one, because I had a great time managing to whack this guy's arms into objects in game. They're like, mate, they are massive lumps of meat, and they just like bang things around. It's actually one of the best things about the game. But yeah, cool. Anyway, hello Drew. Hello everyone.
I was going to actually say shoulders are pointless, but no, shoulders aren't actually pointless because you can see a bit of your shoulder. I actually demoed VR to somebody as well, and they were sort of like, no, I'm not going to buy it, because when I looked here at my body, my shoulders were in the wrong place. They went flatlined on VR because given a body and their shoulders wasn't in the right place. Strangely enough, that game later date, when they updated it, shoulders are now in the right place.
Mate, shoulders better be important. I spend like an hour and a half a week actually trying to make good ones. So
yeah,
right.
Well, you've got to make sure that they get them in there for me, mate.
So we was going to talk about. If anyone hasn't seen it, we did have a little bit of Furious Seas to show as well. A little bit of footage of this. It is. I'm sure it's on South's channel. It's definitely. He's on mine as well. I had a great time with this game, but I think it was in early access, and it's sort of come to an abrupt end. And I don't think they added multiplayer.
There was an update. Yeah, I think there was a recent update a couple of months ago, wasn't there?
But I don't think they continued the story. I'm pretty sure.
Which is a shame, because I mean, it's definitely working. It was definitely working good. I mean, I did that one in mixed reality, which when you play that on like mixed reality, it looks so good.
Yeah. But I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing for Battle Wake. I had a fantastic time with Furious Seas. I really did, and it was probably the best sea naval game I'd played. Not that I played many, but it was like how I always wanted one to be. And then I played Battle Wake, and I was like, I'm having more fun in this.
Yeah, it gets your blood pumping. I found Furious Seas really got my blood pumping.
Yeah.
Spawn as well got a bit of blood pumping type of action in there. It's going to be pretty furious.
What the?
It's going to be pretty furious.
Oh,
Anyway,
right. So here's the trailer for I Expected to Die, The Seat of Power. This is free to download, and it is already available on the Quest as well. So it's available on every headset already. It's definitely worth checking out. It's great fun. I'm sure everyone who has played it will tell you the whole game is fantastic. When I was playing it, a lot of people were like, I've bought this in a sale and I haven't played it yet. Is it any good? And I was like, man, it's one of those games that I was gutted to finish. Same as Static, because once you sort of understand the puzzles and what to do in them, you know what I mean? You can go back, you can give it 6 months or a year and go back, but you'll never get that initial wonder again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed I Expect You to Die on PlayStation VR. I haven't actually even played the first update that they did, the first level that they added with the train.
Oh, the train. Yeah.
So yeah, at some point, I will go back to it. And you're right about the actual aesthetic of the game. I mean, they absolutely nailed that 60s spy James Bond type vibe in it as well. So yeah, when I played it, I had a big smile on my face. Which, if anyone knows me, I normally don't have a big smile on my face. So. I'm a miserable curmudgeon.
Hello, JD. How's it going? Oh,
Hi, JD.
Mate. Nice. A release date of Battle Wake, I think someone asked. That is something I couldn't find out the other day.
No, it's still first time on closed beta. They're not going to be giving you full-on dates yet.
Right.
I think they said summer, but to be honest, summer kind of goes into September, really. So, and to be honest, I think they need to do a beta on Quest and PlayStation VR yet. So,
Silver, that was a rumour started by Danish, by the way, that I was 50. I don't know where he got that from. I hope I stay like this till I'm 50. I'll be so pleased. Do you know what I mean? I hope that actually happens. I'm not looking forward. Everyone's doing that old app, isn't they? Everyone's doing their faces, making it look really old.
I'm not doing it. Have you read the terms and conditions?
Yeah, that's why I said no. Well, go and tell them. I mean, if no one's downloaded it.
It literally is saying, right, we have permission to use your likelihood in all eventualities, wherever we like, around the world, for all time.
Scan your face, basically, in a 3D image. A lot of people have. I think some iPhones unlock by scanning your face, don't they, or something?
Yeah.
And as soon as I read those T's and C's, I was like, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be using that app. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't really want to look old. I know it sounds funny, but yeah, man, I'm not up for having I'm sure my face will be scanned regardless one day. You know what I mean? I'll walk into a shop and they'll just be scanning me and it won't matter. But yeah, for someone to say, hey, can I have your face as a 3D image, I'll be like, nah, I'll probably pass, if you know what I mean, just for a silly app. But yeah, what else can we... I'm just trying to... We're sort of bumbling through it as normal. Russia are invading using FaceApp.
It is actually a Russian company that owns that.
See, Captain Benchmark knows all about it. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be careful. Who else we got? So, let's chuck this out there quickly. Blood and Truth got a demo this week on PlayStation. I'm really glad they done this because also Astrobot got a demo. We could always use more PSVR demos.
Yeah, that was damn straight.
Or VR demos.
Sorry?
Well, what's that, Sal? Sorry, mate. I think
demos across the board for anything like that. You need...
Well, the thing is, I will say, is demos, I would actually say, are more important for PlayStation than they are for PC and Oculus Quest, for the simple reason, and I know we're going to get onto it in a second anyway, that those two platforms, Steam and Oculus, have a refund policy.
Yeah.
Which obviously I took advantage of with Sorrento.
Yeah.
You do not have that policy with PlayStation VR, which I think is something that they really do need to look at big time. Yeah, so I kind of get maybe not doing a demo on Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, etc., because you're either going to buy it through the Oculus Store or you're going to buy it through Steam. They're going to be your two main platforms. But with PlayStation VR, you do not have a choice. You have to buy it through PlayStation VR. And there are, I mean, I gave that list a few weeks ago where I was just like, look, if I had an opportunity to get a refund, I would have refunded all these games. And not all of them were because they were bad games. It's just that I didn't get on with the particular game. So more demos is a good thing. Added to the fact that something like Astrobot, people might have been on the fence.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, they jumped into Astrobot, was like, oh, so I get more of this? Cool. And I think I believe you were saying, Chris, that the demo for Blood and Truth is actually the very first like prologue level in the desert.
Yeah, so as far as this is what I was told. I don't know I think it's the segment where you bust in and you free the guy you're meant to be saving, and then you're in the Jeep together, and it's like that massive action sequence, which, to be fair, is quite unforgettable. It's amazing.
Yeah, basically, it's the get to the chopper.
It was either that bit. I was thinking to myself, which parts of the game would I do in a demo? It'd either be that bit, or the bit that's just come in the trailer that you just went again, when you go into the block of flats and you make your way up to the top sort of thing, and then you know what I mean. That was fantastic. Actually, there's so many moments in Blood and Truth that is amazing. Definitely download the demo if you haven't seen the game before, but trust me, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. This game is absolutely fantastic and is easily going to be in everyone's top 10s, I think, of PlayStation VR, especially in terms of production quality. I think it's quite high. What's going on now, South? What's happening?
It's obviously it's getting to the chopper, man. You know, you got to get to the chopper. Come on,
love a bit of chopper. And then
it's Danish bit. I can't do it. You need to be able to do. Can you do the Arnie?
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Chopper. That's it.
Okay.
You need to speak deep. I needed the deeper, didn't I?
So
I messed it up. Bad. Sorry, Danish.
Let's hope jump over to the browser quickly. This doesn't look particularly good, but hopefully it should be okay. We'll jump over and look at Oculus's refund policy. This is on Upload VR. Basically, they're saying Oculus has clarified on their return policy that you're allowed. What's wrong? It should go back to normal now. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're allowing 5 refunds over 30 days. I actually think that's pretty good. I actually think that's really good. What do you think, Nat? Hold on. Are you guys coming through? No, you're not coming through. Sorry. My bad. Are you guys coming through? No, I am, but you're not. So, I apologise about that. Nat was doing a great speech about it, and I completely messed it up for him.
I forgot what I was about to say.
When you shift the source, you haven't got the other bits in there.
No. So
I see what happened there.
But at least some of you got to read it, I'm assuming, because it was on there for so long.
So we got sound from me now.
You got yeah. Everything's back to normal now.
So I'll go through it again. So what I was saying was Yeah, I think the 30-day policy and 5 refunds is fantastic. If you look, predominantly, I think this has been aimed at Quest more than, say, Oculus Rift, because I think a lot of people buy their games for the Oculus Rift through Steam rather than the Oculus Store. Although I think people are now starting to switch because if they have a Quest as well, there's a lot of cross buys. So I think that might happen. But on average, you would be looking at about 10 games. I would say that most people might want to buy 5 games. I think in a month would definitely be out. 10 games maximum, and possibly 2 or 3 of those games max would be games that either you're not having fun with. There's nothing wrong with the game; it just isn't for you, or it's just a broken pile of poop. And you don't want it anymore. So I think it's a very fair policy. I understand where Oculus are coming from, that if people are refunding games, they really don't have an intention on owning that game. They are looking to buy the game, play it, and then within 2 hours, or say, yeah, I'm refunding every single game I've purchased. I think that's who they're aiming this at, because I think most standard people, they're not going to they don't look at it that way. It's just like they know they've got 2 hours to play it, and if they're not getting on with the game, a bit like with me Sorrento, I knew after 55 minutes that this game isn't for me on Oculus Quest. So
yeah, so I think they've put that in there for people who want to abuse the system.
Yeah,
that's all that is. I think, like, I don't think I've returned a game yet, and someone was saying about Sony's not getting money. You can get money back off Sony, but I think you've got to phone them up or something. You got to ring them up, and they're not too happy about. Like, basically, you've got to.
You have to prove the game is broken. That's the only reason they'll refund it. If you turn around and say, I don't like this game, it's a horrible game, which is a reason you can give on Steam that I just didn't get on with the game. You not only do you have to say the game is broken. In reality, the developer also has to say, yeah, we've released a broken game. That is literally only because I've tried to get a refund from Sony,
and they don't want to play ball.
As soon as the developer is saying the game is fine, because it's passed through their QA and everything, they won't give you a refund. If the developer comes out and says, "Oops, we screwed up. Sorry, the game's broken," yeah, Sony will listen to you, but that is the only reason that they will do it, and even then, that isn't a guarantee. This is so nebulous about what they will do, and I think that's why a lot of people want to do that.
You're off probably now.
Hold on. No, he's not. What the hell have I done?
I have no idea what you've done.
I've made myself completely massive by accident, I think. Oh no, this is not a good time. How has that happened? I added screenshots. You've just got a massive.
Yeah, you've made yourself massive.
I have, but I didn't do it.
You keep on grabbing the maybe.
There I am. There I am.
Are you going and doing a bobbing thing now? You're going on place, yeah?
I don't know what happened there, man. Honestly, do you know
sneaky
what?
peek and then go up.
Do you know what, guys? What you're gonna have to do, right? Is just take our word for what we're talking about. I can't show you any screenshots this week because basically I messed it up. So yeah, sorry about that. Oh dear. Oh man. Who's that? What's they saying? Have you not learned what it sounds like? Yeah, I should have. What was that about? I'm still moving myself around here to get it back to normal. Yeah, so I think that refund policy is absolutely fantastic, and Fez was just saying it was very hard for him to get money back at a PlayStation. I'm pretty sure I've done it once, but they wanted a reason, and as you were saying, it's got to be something technical. There's got to be something wrong with the game. It can't just be like Oculus where you're just like, do you know what, this isn't for me. So I don't really know. Maybe I should try and return something and see how it goes. I don't know. Just see what happens. But Nat, when you returned your Oculus game, it was really straightforward. Like really straightforward.
Yeah. I had a bit of an issue because it kept rejecting because you got a PIN number on the Oculus app. and it kept rejecting my PIN number. It's like, well, that is my PIN number. So, but it was done within like 2 minutes. And then you get an email come through saying, okay, you're going to have to wait. I think it's 5 days. Yeah, well, in fact, I've actually put 2 refunds through. But only one because I didn't like the game. The second refund was because the developer actually gave me a code for their game.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, that was really weird. So I put that through. But both of them went through, no issues at all. I got a couple of emails 5 days later saying you should have your money back in your account. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And that's kind of how it should be. It should be a nice, simple solution. You know, you've got your rules. You know, it says you can't play the game more than 2 hours, and it has to be done. What is it, within 14 days or 30 days, something like that. But yeah, like I say, it was really cool. So
Madman's just hello Lincoln, how's it going? Gaming Legends. Let me just do a quick shout out to the chat because you guys are obviously always putting up with us, or me anyway. Tony Robbins, I will sort that out, dude. Robbie05. But as long as you know that it wasn't done out of malice, it was because when I was on stream the other day, you were sort of messing around, and the guys who I have as moderators are there to, basically they're my police. They're there to protect me and make sure the stream's going really well. So sorry about that. TGK2, how's it going? I'm sure I said hello to Drew. Who else we got? I think I said hello to everyone now. Excellent stuff. Yeah. So what was going to talk about next? There was the Telefrag. Let's get some Telefrag chat done because I need to just get this.
That was this week. You played it on both as well.
I have. Yeah.
So play it on PC first. When there was before.
Yeah. So I played it. I played it literally. I think they sent me a code as soon as I got my PC. So it would have been about 20 weeks ago. I first played it, and it didn't have the smooth locomotion in it.
Oh, it was awful.
And it was. I mean, it looked great, but I was just like,
it was.
What sort of game is this?
Yeah, exactly. Then they did go out there with the community feedback and a bit of that, and added the actual smooth locomotion rather than that you're jerking forwards a set amount or jerking back a set amount that literally sent your brain into overload.
I think they've done it with good reason though. They wanted to give you kind of smooth movement or all over movement, but at the same time teleport. So you got away with the motion sickness thing, and you're still and the game. They wanted the game to be fast, which it is very fast.
Yeah, it is very fast. It's better smooth, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
and you use the same as me. Like straight up, what are you doing? Where's the slow motion? For me, they may have had the intention of saying, "Oh, if we do this, we won't make people sick." In my case, it really made me feel sick and disoriented.
I was just instantly thinking, "What a shame! What a shame! What a shame! What a shame! What a shame!" That was it. That's all I kept thinking. But luckily,
turning into me.
That on the PC side,
the beard is the start. I'm like a 3-year-old gnat. I'm slowly aging. All of it's gonna grow. Yeah. So then I interviewed the developers because I was very excited for the game, and what I played of it, it definitely. And what I played of it, it felt like it fed my lust for a very fast first-person shooter. Now, don't get me wrong. Putting aside what we're going to talk about this game, Space Junkies is still that game. It still is the fantastic online first-person shooter that I wanted. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I wanted something more Quake, more serious, I guess. You know, and more hardcore. And I played it on PC, and there was a couple of things that I remember playing it when the smooth locomotion came in. I was thinking, this is great. I didn't realise it was going to stay 3 rounds at the time of playing it. I thought that was just a default option or something. I only played it 45 minutes before I interviewed him. What else was there? I knew it was going to be 1v1, but I was kind of hoping there might be some options later on, but that was I actually liked the 1v1, but if it's over, especially over like 10 rounds or something, that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, me and Sales have played it the other day, and when there is a real good battle going on,
it's great. That's
yeah.
my first chance to actually play against a human player. So it was a different thing from playing against the baked-in AI. The AIs can sometimes give you a bit of a challenge, and you go, "Oh, okay." But with the Smooth Loco version, playing against you is the first real opponent I played against, and it's a lot better against a human opponent. But I still kind of felt like, why is this best out of 3 when I could have a kill 'em quick, die respawn thing, and just be really stupid, fast and furious with the battles?
And there is some other great things as well. The fact that when you've only got a certain amount of times you can use a certain amount of weapons. You've basically got 2 of every gun, and there's 5 guns, I believe.
Yeah.
So like I mean, personally for me, my favourites turned out actually to be the rocket launcher with the secondary function. What if you die and you've got them? Like South would he telefragged me once. I got the guns. I was like, yeah, and I died. That's it. Your best guns are gone. That's great. Like, and in the video, I think South goes, that's what games should be like. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a bet, all in one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going all in here. I'm using my best weapons. Bosh. I love that. There is something it's weird. It's almost like this is close to being something brilliant. That's the feeling of it on PC. So I'm gonna quickly check over to Nat now because he also has played the PlayStation version of Telefrag. Over to you, Nat.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I played it twice, both against AI bots. Now, both times I played it before they've done a patch. Now, I'm hoping, because I had issues with the Move controllers, that the Move controllers did not work. Literally, they were in the game. I could see them, but every time I was trying to go through the menus, they were not working in the menu system at all. Couldn't choose anything. So I'm hoping the patch has actually addressed that. So all I had was the DualShock 4, which is for movement, obviously, is much better. And I enjoyed that part of it. I will agree with your video review that the graphics are not the best. They are very blurry, and there was a lot of it of really what am I doing here. I don't want to bash on the game too much because really I don't think I've spent that much time. Also, we know that they're putting an aim controller patch in, and I think the game control-wise would play better with an aim controller as well. Kind of based on what you were saying, like a game that I would love to see on in VR, and I don't think it's ever going to happen, unfortunately, although I think it could, would be Unreal Tournament. I'm a huge fan of Unreal Tournament. I know you were talking about Quake. For me, it's Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
I think Unreal Tournament in VR, for the speed and the kills and everything like that, would work really well. The one thing I was kind of feeling about this game was, when I was playing it, was just kind of made me want to go back and play the 1v1 in Farpoint. It's like, okay, if you're just going to give me 1v1, Farpoint actually, for me, even though it doesn't have as much speed, it has a lot more choice. In the game, also I can use the aim controller. So I will wait until they put the aim controller patch in, but I do actually agree with you that I think there is a possibility that this game, over a period of time, can be really, really good. So I would say if somebody was asking me, oh, should I buy Telefrag, I would say at the moment, no. But possibly in a month or 2 months' time, once they've taken a lot of feedback off people, that this actually might be a really fun and interesting game. At the moment, I don't think it's that interesting. So
there was another thing that happened for me, which I was quite pleased about, that I watched other people's reviews. I had technical issues. Chelsea said he had none, I believe. He had no technical issues at all.
I had no technical issues.
In a way, and I'm just saying this, I'm just being honest as always, it was probably technically one of the most broken games I played because of the issues I had. And that's not to say everyone's had them, and I don't know why they haven't had them. because funny enough, a lot of the times I get messages about my VR setup. Like yesterday, I got one. How is your tracking so good? I was playing I Am Hungry, and people were like, your tracking's fantastic. How are you getting that set up? And I've got like a listing, a help guide. So with this game, my actual headset was disconnecting. I've never had that on any other game, right? That was weird. That was frustrating. The move controllers were a bit on and off. When I was using the DualShock, just pressing forward, I would stop and start, like, for no reason. I noticed in some of the levels, whether they're heavy on graphical stuff or not, there was frame stutter in places. I didn't really understand that. You know, and then there was the 3D rudder. I chose that. Put it up to maximum speed because a lot of people were saying, oh, you might not have had it on maximum rotation. Of course I did. I was trying to look for the fastest way to play it. It didn't feel right. Now, it's not to say that none of this stuff can be done as an update. But, like Nat said, you're talking current state. You've got the game as it is. I can't give people my future opinions on a game. Unfortunately, if you're going to say to me, like, as Nat would say, would you recommend Telefrag? I would say currently on PSVR, no, I wouldn't, because of my personal, the way I personally come across it. I really hope that other people like Salsa or anyone else has a fantastic time with it. They don't find it blurry. The blur to me was awful. Like, I really didn't get on with it. I watched Preacher Places in the chat. He played it as well. It was good to hear his thoughts on it because they were kind of similar to mine. So, Salsa, you played it as well on the PSVR.
Yeah, I played it on both. I tried to do a versus comparison on my stream as well. So, I basically took the PC version first. I took the PSVR version as a first play. Put the two screens side by side and went from one headset straight to the other. So yeah, it is blurry in the PSVR for sure. I think it's an ambitious game when it comes to graphics, and I think they're going to have to look to optimize it to put in a bit more sharpness, because at the end of the day, with a game like this, you want the sharpness a little bit more because you're shooting. You need to be able to see what you're shooting at more than trying to get the nicer looking graphics. Level design wise, I do actually quite like the level design.
Yeah,
but
I
you
like
need
the game.
to spy through things, different things like that. This game needs that, maybe that little bit of reduction in the special effects, push up the resolution as high as they can get it, basically, and obviously sort out any bugs. I didn't find it too bad, but it definitely looks like it was better than the first release of Skyrim on an OG. I kind of put it around sort of like there.
Okay.
But need it a bit better. They need it a bit better.
Take care, Madman. Thank you ever so much. Now, I would put this game, in terms of blur, up there with Abduction. And Abduction on the PSVR I found pretty unplayable. The reason Silver doesn't want to talk about the rudder is because he messaged me in the week. He's having real trouble with his. He can't get it to work. I sent him some steps to try. Whether that's happened or not, I said to him we could just have a faulty unit. There is a possibility of that. There's, things do go wrong. So, and to be fair, the rudder for me, since my initial use of it, is pretty reliable. You plug it in, put your feet on it, it tells you it's initializing, and you're off. But also, since I put my video out, the 3D Rudder guys have messaged me heavily, and they basically said there's optimization coming in, there's things to be done. I wasn't saying the 3D Rudder, I didn't see it as a necessity for this game, and also for me as a player, if a game has two weapons, I want to be able to control both weapons. Like, you know what I mean? I know what, like, a lot of people are looking for aim controller support. They're looking forward to that, and I get that. That's cool. I really wish them the best. For me, I want to be able to. I thought the move controllers actually were okay. The way they work for me personally, I want to be able to move both of those guns independently. That's, if a game has two guns, that's personally how I like to play something. What about you, South?
Yeah, no, I liked the dual wielding kind of play on that. I like being able to think. It was a different move setup as well, which was kind of blowing my mind a little bit because I was trying to get used to it. Because your move button on your left would make you go forward, and your move button on your right would make you go backwards relative to where you're looking. And that as a system worked really quite well in this scenario.
Yeah.
So I was kind of pleased with that, but my brain needs more time to get around it, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did that slight lock to your head type thing or whatever, and it needed I needed more time to get used to it on PSVR, but I thought it was a sensible way of doing it. I didn't try the DS4. I don't like using DS4 so much with the PlayStation VR with something like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it kills that immediate immersion of being able to go bam, bam.
That's no different to me playing Firewall. I personally, I know I can play it with a DualShock, and I know some players that are very good with it with a DualShock, but I love to hold the aim controller. It just feels right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the same as it wouldn't feel right for me like it did in Doom, where Doom gives you like a hereditary grenade launcher coming out the side of your face. It just made me think, well, dude, like, I won't bother. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's
I don't know how they're going to pull it off with the aim controller. If they manage to, I don't know, do something like take whatever functions, because you got those that is basically set up for two weapons. However they handle that, literally, if anything, I don't like. Yeah, like you say, you don't want that effect of having a gun stuck to your face. Oh, thanks for the donation there. That's really good. Cheers, GT. Now,
thank you,
Shats. Thanks very much. That's really good.
Man. He's a patron as well, so that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I don't like the floating arm. If you're going to have that arm, it needs to actually be down where your arm would be, so you were shooting from the hip. That would feel reasonably more, reasonable to me.
Yeah, man.
And then maybe where your aim controller is pointing, that's where that fires. The other one, where you're looking, if it does like a shoot from you can't see my hip at the moment, but if you're moving, your hand left, right, shoot from the hip type motion, then that would be fine. But, yeah, we don't like the arm sticking out of your neck thing.
So, what the other thing we wanted to start talking about a little bit, and I know the lads were kind of excited to start talking about this, was the PSVR 2 bit of news that has recently come up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of read it while playing a little trailer this guy made of concept art of the PSVR 2.
Yeah, exclusive here. We don't have the actual what the PSVR 2 is going to look like. It's somebody's concept art.
Yeah. So basically, over on Upload VR, they put an opinion. PlayStation VR 2 will be great, but don't be fooled, it won't be cheap. And the reason that come about is over on Inverse, they basically covered some of the specs, what they've been told, and patterns of PSVR 2, and said it's going to cost around $250. And I think that's where eyebrows are raised right round like that until they go to the back of your head. Like, what do you guys think about that statement?
There is a ton of patterns, and they're always fun to look at and stuff like that. But Salsa brought up a really good point that a lot of that tech that they're saying is going to be in PlayStation VR 2 for $250, and God knows how the hell they've come up with. They've just pulled that price out their arse. They really have. But a lot of that tech, in fact, some of that tech on PlayStation VR 2 goes further than is it the what's the other
Star
headset
One.
you were talking?
Star
One. And how much is the Star One?
The Star One is about 3,500 euros. along with the XTAL base model.
So the tech can go down, but it ain't going to
So
go
let
down.
me cover
much.
some of these specs. They are pretty amazing, actually. So for $250, the headset will be completely wireless, giving you 5 hours of battery life. You'll have 2560 by 1440 resolution with a 220-degree field of view, and eye tracking. Now, just getting to that bit alone, I'm like, no. No.
Well, the eye tracking Sony have been talking about for a long time.
I'm not saying they're not gonna try and achieve some of that. I'm saying
yeah, definitely.
for the price.
If they could get the eye tracking, it would be wonderful.
But yeah, you look at it, and I think a lot of it is okay. Sony did this pattern, but if you actually look, Sony did a patent for a DualShock 4 that could actually be split in half. That hasn't appeared, and that came out like 8 years ago. Yeah. So all a patent is to protect your intellectual property. That this is an idea that we've got. This is something that we're working on, and they just want to make sure that somebody can't just come in and nick the idea.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. The majority of patents that we see don't come to anything. And obviously, you do have people looking at patents left, right, and centre to try and gain some knowledge. And I've looked at it, and I've sort of I made a video a long time ago where, especially when the Oculus Quest was announced, where I turned around and said, well, PlayStation, could PlayStation VR 2 be a dockable system a la a Switch that you can connect it to your PS4 and you get improved connections, but also it be a bit like a Switch that you can kind of go out and about with it. But the cost on that would be huge. It wouldn't be cheap. So it's interesting to look at it, but you kind of look at it and the fantastical part of your brain goes, oh, that would be so cool. That's really awesome. Yeah. But then the analytical and sensible part of your brain looks in and just goes, yeah, no. There might be a couple of bits that actually turn out to be true, but $250. I can't even remember the price of PlayStation VR when it launched. Was it
400 or 450 or something? 400, I think, for the headset.
Yeah, so
350 for the headset, no camera. In the UK, $400 for the complete thing with whatever in the US.
You alright, babe? How's it going? Miss GT's in the chat. How you doing? So Silver, I'm not, dude. It's not like, I don't think anyone's saying the tech can't happen eventually. No one's saying that, and I do believe PSVR 2 will be amazing, and I think PSVR 5 will be fantastic, and I think you're going to see some amazing exclusives grow from that, and people are going to see more games.
Say PSVR 5.
You did.
Oh, PS5 and PSVR 2. But I always think that the PSVR 2 has got to be, or should be, to keep people going, cheaper than the console price.
Yes.
Yeah, that or, close to. But I mean, the PS5 is probably going to be pretty expensive when it comes out anyway.
I mean, do you see him? I mean, what was the Xbox X? What was that? What was that one? Was that 450?
That's 450.
I can't see them going above 500. I don't think they do like to go over £500 anymore. So you're already sort of saying that the headset's going to be 500, surely.
Possibly, yeah. Again, it depends what they put into it. So
yeah. At the moment, I think some of the specs that you've got written down here that are out there are kind of similar to the Rift S. And then plus something else, and then plus something else, and then plus something else on top. And it's like, that's not happening.
Well, it sounds like the most incredible headset ever made.
Well, the thing is, I mean, if you look at it, Oculus changed their strategy with the Oculus Rift S, because obviously we've had the Valve come out, the Valve Index. There's meant to be a few issues with it, but that has been targeted at a high-end user.
Yeah.
Whereas Oculus have turned around and they're saying, well, you know what? you can have that high-end user. We're trying to go mass market. We're trying to go market to free up the user base, and that's why we've got both the Oculus Quest, and from everything we're hearing about the Oculus Quest, that is selling absolute gangbusters. I've got to admit, I would not be surprised if at Oculus Connect 6, the Oculus team come out and said, guess what, guys? We've sold 1 million units. It wouldn't surprise me if that has been possible, because every metric we've heard from developers talking about their games to Facebook executives have come out and said it is absolutely blown away their inside metrics, what they thought they were going to be selling. And if you look at that, you can't buy the damn thing because it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what they say. So, but they've gone mass market. Sony is a mass market item. They do not do premium products. Even the PS4 is an incremental upgrade. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a friggin' awesome system. The only thing I think it missed out on was putting a 4K Blu-ray player in. But I love my PlayStation 4, and it has definitely given me, like you watch Spider-Man, that looks unbelievable on PS4. And then the amount of VR games, PlayStation VR games, that have received significant boosts. As I say, the only reason I said a few weeks ago why maybe I would tell people maybe to, if they've got a PS4 original, not to upgrade to a Pro, is PS5 is around soon. Now, if you've got money extra, because that's going to be what I think you said, about £120 difference between the PS4 and PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
that they'd have to pay if they traded in. So that's 3-4 games. So if you could lose 3 or 4 games in a year, get it. But if it's like, well, actually, I'd prefer to buy the 3 or 4 games, I think you're okay with the original until we go to PS5. And we already know that PS5 is going to support PlayStation VR. So I think I've seen a lot of people, and they've said it in the chat as well, that it's going to launch with PS5. Not a chance. That's never going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
PS5, I think, will launch next year, end of next year, because it looks like Xbox Scarlet's going to launch next year. I don't see it hit until 2022. I think there's going to be a 2-year window minimum. I don't even see it coming a year after the PS5 launches.
I'm not sure, because if you make, it's 2 ways of looking at it, isn't there? Because if you make PSVR, the original PSVR, backwards compatible, almost, you're sort of putting it in there maybe as a bit of a Rift S. Like, here's an upgrade. You can still use your VR and your PSVR with your PS5, yeah? Original users and all that. But here's a better one. Do you know what I mean? If you want it, it's there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Do you know what I mean? Because what they've done, I think making PSVR, the original PSVR, backwards compatible is a massive move. Massive. It's huge. Everyone who's got a PS5 has access to VR straight away. And they're like 110 quid now, these headsets. Do you know what I mean? You had... And like with the refresh rates on it are great. The field of view is okay. It's what the majority of people are used to. 110, I think it is. I think so.
No, I think PSVR is actually lower. I don't think
is it 100?
I think it's actually 90.
Oculus, no, it's 100.
Is it 100?
Is it 100?
It's 100 to 10, and basically sometimes, depending on how you've got it, and where your eyes are, you will actually get a better view from the PSVR than you get in some of the Oculus headsets. Some people find that the Oculus cuts their vision down a little bit more than the PSVR.
And there's no God rays already. Blacks are lovely.
That is really a big thing, obviously, that it has no God rays.
Drew,
is a huge thing.
What Drew said, that's what I'm saying. That's what they need. They need to launch it with new controllers. That's what they need. Because imagine your back catalogue with them joysticks. Do you know what I'm saying?
See, I don't see them making an interim. I don't see them doing an Oculus Rift S. I don't see Sony doing that. I see Sony going PSVR and then PSVR 2, and there will be a big shift. I think everything, the PSVR 2, when it finally does come out, will play everything that's available on PlayStation VR. So I don't think you're going to need your original PlayStation VR headset. I think it will be backwards compatible. The one thing that I think Sony could do is a bit like what Drew just said, and I saw that comment as well. They could release an interim controller. I think most people would be happy to release an interim controller by making the PS5 or PlayStation VR compatible with PlayStation 5. The one thing it buys Sony is time to make sure that when they launch PlayStation VR 2, that it is such a significant upgrade that the people that have loved PlayStation VR are going to 100% jump into PlayStation VR 2. But other people that have maybe been sitting on the fence, it's enough of a leap that they'll want it as well. But yeah, I say the one thing, and to be honest, I've banged on that drum so much, is the one thing Sony need to do is update their controllers big time, because it's not just hurting developers in actually producing games, it's actually hurting us as gamers.
Mate, the Valve Knuckles, regardless of whether people get on with them or triggers fall off on that, they're raising bars. Bars are being raised all over the place. And
100%.
These are, what are they, 8-9-year-old controllers, the moves, I believe?
10. They're over 10.
Are they really? So my ones is actually, they are the original ones, because you get the fat,
the old USB connection.
The old USB connection.
Rather than USB-Cs, yeah.
Yeah, so these are the ones from the PS3, and I actually, when I went to play PlayStation VR for the first time in April 2016, I think it would have been, I was amazed by it, and I picked them up for £5 each. Because I was like, man, it's so good.
I managed to get one of my Move controllers for a tenner.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, what Sony have managed to actually do with the Move controllers, considering how old that tech is quite phenomenal. But now's the time to change it. I said at the time when they did actually do the change to the new connections with better battery life and everything, that was the time to put in analog controllers.
Yeah, and Danish.
Or they need something.
Right.
They either need analog controllers, or what was the thing? So you were talking about with the Vive,
you've got the one I was talking about is the STEM system, which was basically a magnetic tracking base, so it doesn't use visuals at all. No visual tracking. They basically have these little things. You can attach them to anything, and it'll track it to within a millimeter at 1 megahertz latency.
Yeah, I agree with what Drew put in the chat just now, where he's played too many games where I feel like I'm fighting the controls. And I definitely appreciate that with the Quest. And the one game that I always bring up to people, because I love the game, I think it's amazing, is Super Hot. Where there's been times on PlayStation VR, as good as it is on PlayStation VR, there is times where you're playing Super Hot on the PlayStation VR, and you do feel like the controls are fighting against you. And on Oculus Quest, it's as far as I'm concerned, and I haven't played the PC, so I can't really comment on PC. But for me, it is the best version of the game by far.
And it's horrible in a way, like you feel disloyal in a way, because PlayStation VR for a lot of us is the doorway. It is the first taste. It is the one that you go, dude, I want more of this. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who have now got the Oculus Quest going, I haven't actually played my PSVR for a long time at the moment, and I'm getting things like that, and I can sort of see what they're saying a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? I can see that. I can see, because there's no getting around it, that maybe the moves were ahead of their time when they did come out, but now, like at the end of the day, technically the PSVR has not had any controllers released for it.
One thing I will say, add to that, is if you look at the range of games on PlayStation VR where you'd say, okay, this is a top 10 game, since the system came out, the only game that I would say that you could put Move controllers in that would be top 10, well, there's maybe two. One would be Blood and Truth, but because, as Salsa pointed out to me, and I wasn't really looking at it, it's an on-rails type game. It works with the moves.
Yeah.
The only other game I think that works with the moves that possibly would go into a top 10 for most people would be Until Dawn Rush of Blood. I think if you look at every other game where you would go, this game is a top 10 game, it either uses the DualShock 4, whether it's Astro Bot, whether it's Resident Evil 7, or it uses the aim controller, whether it's Farpoint or Doom or anything like that. I don't think there's too many games that would be in most people's top 10 where it only uses move controllers.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And I think that's kind of where Sony have got away with it. That the aim controller in the DualShock 4 does so much. As I say, Astro Bot would never really. I don't think it would work with move controllers. It might do.
No,
but nowhere near to the degree that it works with DualShock 4.
This is
I'm
amazing.
going to put something else on this as well, because Puppy Chicken there did say about like the Leap Motion, which this is a Leap Motion if you haven't seen a Leap Motion before.
Yeah.
This is a hand tracking module. Basically, that goes on the front of your thing. You can do like a whole Bender thing with that, can't I? I can look like Bender the robot. And it basically tracks your fingers with no controller.
That's cool.
But I don't think this is the solution that we're looking for, because I still think you need something in your hand a lot of the time.
Yeah, don't do that on stream, though. Yeah. So, yeah, cool. So, moving on. Next week's release. Oh, we can touch on the new Marvel, the new Iron Man trailer that come out. That looked pretty cool. Which is
the devs speaking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, the devs are speaking about it. You haven't seen this, obviously, just type in Iron Man VR and it'll come up because this is the newest. Yeah, Silver, I see what you're saying, dude. With the rudder, there's certain games I think work very well with the rudder and the move controllers. It just works well. Funny enough, I haven't tried Space Junkies with it because I actually really enjoyed the move controllers with Space Junkies. It felt that they'd done a really good scheme on that. So, yeah. But, yeah, so Iron Man, I've been watching this and I was on VR 360 the other day and he did point out there isn't a great amount of gameplay in this trailer, funny enough. There's a lot of talking and a lot of pre-rendered stuff. We've heard about Iron Man VR is going to have free locomotion, as in you'll be able to use thrusters on your hands, and you will control how you move. Kind of like the first bit in the film where he tries to take off and he goes all over the place. This is going to be what you're doing. Yeah.
But they're going to actually do that from the sounds of it, that you're going to get to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's more
as you're training.
The people that have had hands-on that I'm more excited. Because there hasn't been a lot in the trailers. The trailers are like, oh, it's really cool. I think it's the people that have actually had hands-on with the game. And they're just saying, you know what? It actually works.
Yeah.
How camouflaged the developers are talking about the game. It works how you'd want it to work. Now, you know, the only way it could be any better is if you had some sort of, you know, repulsor type thing as a glove on your hands. But with the moves, you know, you are going to have to, you know, learn how to fly if you're in reality. So, and I got to admit, I'm super stoked for this.
I loved what Papa Chicken just said. He said, I love when games have HUDs on your face and it makes it feel like it's more like an actual helmet for the game than you're wearing a headset. That is fantastic. And that actually looks like what they're going for here. And in this trailer, you can see he actually just punch an enemy as well. It doesn't look like it's just a shooter. They're actually going all out to give you that thing of I am Iron Man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you listen to what they're saying as the developers, and their entire approach here has been, okay, if I'm a person playing something or seeing something as Iron Man, what are the prerequisites? What are the first things I really want to do as Iron Man? I want to be able to go around the environment. I want to be able to use those jets to go out wherever. I want to be able to hit something, and I want to see that iconic HUD working as it should.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think I'm liking from them, from Camouflage, in how they're speaking about the game and what I've heard about it so far, is the approach they've started off with is starting on the right foot of what defines Iron Man as an idea for everybody to go, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
And they're trying to build that essence as what we get.
Well, the other thing is we haven't actually heard any sounds from it. So I'm hoping when you're in that headset, you're going to have Jarvis talking to you as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that.
It's not Jarvis. They're using the female character.
They're using
I don't
Pepper.
know. Oh, okay. What's the Jarvis? Jarvis is the main central computer, though, isn't it?
Not now in the MCU. It's got because Jarvis obviously went with
Ultron.
No, he went with Vision.
Yes, sorry.
He merged with Vision, and so he had to use a new character because that's where you're getting the same character that Spider-Man is as well.
Right. So I have watched all these films, but I have not taken all that in. Like I just sit there and go, "This looks cool," and that's about it.
Endgame, so don't spoil anything for me.
What did you say?
I haven't been to the cinema, so I haven't watched Endgame.
So
Oh no, this is back ages ago.
I know, but there could be more stuff in
Ultron,
game, so I don't need spoilers.
You got to go and see Endgame, dude.
Yeah, I haven't been to cinema.
I'll tell you what, man. What do you think would happen? What do you think happens in Endgame?
Come on.
I'll leave him alone.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's just and Boy Brown brought up something that we saw. Yeah, so Dave Station's video explaining why he thinks Iron Man contains multiplayer. I mean, there's nothing to be founded by that, in my opinion. But if he thinks that, dude, and how cool would that be if maybe one of you is War Machine, and one of you was Iron Man? That would be bloody sick.
I think that'd be great.
That would be.
I mean, there are so many different versions of the Iron Man armor. So you got the scenario-based things where you're going to have your different abilities based on
Hulkbuster.
Armor.
The Hulkbuster suit, man. I'd have that straight away. I don't know if it can fly very well, but I'd still be the Hulkbuster suit.
Well, I mean, if you look at, and we talked about this a few weeks ago when they released the Spider-Man Far From Home VR experience, and we were all ecstatic about it, even though there's flaws in it. At the end of the day, they nailed the two things that we wanted, which was wall crawling, well, actually wall running, and that was fun, but mainly web swinging. And that's just a free experience. This is going to be a full-blown retail game. I assume it's going to be at least £40, so $50, $60. And as Salsa said, everything the developers are saying is the right thing that they're saying.
Yeah.
What is it that is Iron Man? What is the main things? Everyone wants the HUD. Well, they've shown us the HUD. Everyone wants to have the repulsors to be able to fly anywhere, and they've already said you can fly anywhere. You know, you can skim across. You know, the first thing I'm going to do once I actually figure out how to fly properly is I'm going to skim across the ocean.
It's going to be a contest, doesn't there, to find out how fast you can fly, how low you can fly, how high you can fly, all of that stuff.
I think they've said 200 miles an hour is the speed.
There you go.
Man, so talking about, while we're on the thing of talking about camouflage, they actually have a game releasing next week for the Oculus Quest, and I believe it's already on the Oculus Go. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is, yeah. For a while.
So, I mean, if you've got an Oculus Quest and you want to see what these guys are capable of, I don't know whether the publishers or the developers of this actually seeing that. I think they might have been the developers. So, this is the Oculus Go trailer. I can't find a Quest trailer currently, and I think it's already priced on the Quest Store, $10.99?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. So, if you want to see what these guys are capable of and what's going on with them, maybe that is a game that, I'm sure Quest will, that'll probably feature. I'll jump into it, do a stream of it, see what it's like. I'm quite excited about it actually. Oh, they must be the
Well,
developers. I've just seen two of the faces from the Iron Man one. So
I love stealth games. I'm such a fan of stealth games. This is a stealth game, so that's why I'm looking forward to it.
go on.
So I just read Fez's comment. Salsa, the butler, did it. End game.
Oh man,
Ugh.
mental. Oh, what we got here? I was just going to say actually, going back to Iron Man quickly. That is quite a smart system they've done there because you haven't got joysticks and the move controllers. If you can use it that way, it makes complete sense to use the moves that way to move around. Hello, Tasnik, how's it going? Then the guys have just jumped into Megaton Rainfall, which again touches on something that can be very good. I wouldn't say it's an amazing game. There's amazing moments in it, I think, personally. What do you guys think of that game? Megaton Rainfall, if you remember it, especially when it came out.
I remember it.
Yeah, they come out with a newer move controller update for it, so you could actually do like a Superman flight with it as well. And people are really interested in that. By the views I had on my video, I was quite surprised. It was good to see that people hadn't forgotten about the game. So yeah, and I think that was one developer.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was the thing that impressed me most. Was wow, one guy did all this.
Yeah, it's mental.
I've got nothing bad to say about Megaton Rainfall. It's a fun, enjoyable game. It was reasonably priced at the time. We were getting a lot of games where it was like £25-30, and you're like, phew, that's a bit expensive. And then I think Megaton Rainfall came out, and I think it was
10.
Was it £10.99?
Yeah.
And it was like, what? There's quite a bit of content, and there's quite a bit of depth actually in that game if you want to find it. It can be as superficial as you want, but there's actually quite a bit of depth in that game as well. And like I say, that that one guy actually did it was impressive. And I'd most probably recommend maybe not a full price game now with the range of content that we have, but possibly if it's on sale, I think people that haven't picked it up might want to pick it up because it is enjoyable. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if anyone is interested in Republic, it's an episodic action adventure stealth video game, which, as Nat was saying, and it does look pretty cool. I think actually it is one I wasn't sure about it. I love the artwork in it. On the actual store, it caught my eye straight away, like the artwork. I think it looks really cool, man. I like the Resident Evil style cameras and stuff going on here, like the third person. And as I said, this is on the go. You're looking at stuff off the go, let alone the Quest. Like, what's that gonna look like?
Yeah, it's gonna be a different experience on some of that because obviously you got 6 degrees freedom going on the Quest side. It's been very, very noted that this developer is really, really good at optimizing their games with the graphics. I mean, that doesn't look, Unity, you usually see the cel-shaded stuff going on with a lot of people who develop in Unity on the flatter side of things.
Yeah.
And this developer has just made it look like, this looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, so this is already out on PC VR. You can get it on Steam. Well, I'm assuming it's on VR. Let's have a look. It might not be a VR.
There is actually Republic because that's also available on PlayStation 4.
Oh no, this is the same game. It's the same artwork and everything. It's by Camouflage. I can't tell if it's for a VR headset though. It might not.
No,
be.
you should be able to because it's Republic VR is the VR version.
Yeah, so
it's just Republic. It will just be the normal version.
Yeah, and that has got mostly positive reviews across the board. So adding that VR side of it will only, in my head, increase it. So I am really looking forward to jumping into that. Hello, Captain Chrissy. How's it going, dude?
Well, 2019 is certainly seeming to be the year of stealth, which is putting a big smile on my face. I mean, like I say, being the miserable curmudgeon that I am is a hard thing to do. But like I say, you talk to the developers about Aspire 1. That is one of my favourite games. And the funny thing is, even Sniper Elite, even though it isn't a stealth game, there are stealth elements to that game. So, like I say, there's a lot for me as a fan to look forward to, as well as hopefully the announcement at Oculus Connect 6 that we get Splinter Cell VR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
wish
we
it-
all just want to put a. We all just want to be able to put a box on top of us and sneak around the map everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, and then smoke cigarettes and watch your health bar go down. So then,
Up.
yeah, oh yeah, whatever. I don't know. I thought it took your life down. So next up, I wanted to quickly. What's this? Have you discussed the 0% games a month Oculus Quest return policy? We did. We discussed that, and it basically says that you can return 5 games in a 30-day period, which I think is more than enough. Easily more than enough. I mean, personally, like, not just promoting my channel and anyone else's channel. There's enough content creators out there. Developers in VR are more open. They're putting out their own vlogs. They're talking to other people. There's enough information out there, I think, now that you could probably get a bit of info before you buy a game and make a bit of an educated guess whether it's going to be something you're interested in. In my opinion. So also, I think it's next week. Can't quote me on this. Either next week or the week after. Tetris Effect comes to PSVR as well. So I think he's already on PC, but I think the VR side. Hold on, South, I thought I'd lost you there, dude. I thought you'd gone frozen.
So Epic Game Store exclusive, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, so that's going to put a lot of people off, unfortunately, because they don't like that.
What, because it's Epic? I mean, Epic Store's free to download and use and stuff. I mean...
Oh, if you look at the amount of crap that gets. So Salsa would know more about that stuff, being a PC user, but Epic Games is I don't think it's an issue. I've got Epic's Game Store. I'm taking advantage of it. I've brought some games from them. Admittedly, it's not a very good store.
No, it's not,
as
but I've
a
got
store.
it.
But as I say, Salsa can explain more about the anger and upset that people have with the Epic's Game Store, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it's literally a thing of a lot of people were hoping that Epic coming in would provide some competition to Steam. And what's happened is Epic has come in and gone, oh, we'll buy this as an exclusive, we'll get this as an exclusive. And instead of providing competition, what they've done is lock people out from getting game or locking them into only their price structure on a store which is not as developed as Steam, and where people would have to repopulate friend lists and all of this business, and people are really annoyed by that.
Yeah, I do apologise. Someone just wrote, Papa Chicken, about that. I returned 10 games in a week during the Steam summer sale. I mean, either way, but that Steam sale was mind-blowing. Like, crazy prices for games. Absolutely crazy. I thought that was incredible, especially for VR people. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, can I just say, maybe some people don't know this, Humble Bundle at the moment are doing a VR sale on games.
I've never... Yeah, so I read about this, but I didn't look much into it because, one, I haven't had time to. I have no idea what that is.
Space Junkies is like $7.
What, on PC?
Yeah.
These are all PC games, right?
Oh, yeah, they're all PC. They're not PS4.
Yeah, Humble games are usually the that goes to your Stream account, basically.
Nat, can you put the website up in the chat for us? Is that okay? Because Humble Bundle, whatever it is. Because Fez just put who, Nat? He's not. I might have not heard you. Where we're maybe talking over each other a little bit by accident. So, but yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you think about Tetris Effect in VR anyway, because funny enough, when I first played it, when it wants to amaze you, I was like, and this was at a gaming show, EGX, I was like, it feels like Tetris. It's very good in VR, I love it, but it didn't necessarily wow me. And then the game was £35, I think, when it come out, and I was like, I don't know, dude, 35 quid for Tetris. And then I played it, and it hits you at like a level in your mind. Like, there's some sort of connection that can happen with this game while you're playing it, and it becomes an amazing experience. So, not to raise the bar too high. South, what do you think on that? What do you think of that? That's my personal
Well,
opinion.
you got to remember me with Tetris Effect. I got out my sub pack as well, so I was fully in the immersion zone because this is Masaguchi being Masaguchi, where he sort of like goes, right, his sound, his visions, let's meld them together and put you in a mind space, and that's what he does. You've got the gameplay elements going in there, and your brain just kind of slots into this sort of odd zone, and that works with Tetris. It totally works with Tetris. What you're going to get on the PC side is that plus the visual upscale.
Yeah. There
Which
is a slight loss of clarity on PlayStation, but not enough to change anything.
No, I mean it's a pin sharp game on PSVR. It's absolutely a pin sharp game on PSVR, but they're going to be able to add more elements, and it will be sharper. I mean, if you go from say Res, and Res Infinite, because that's the same developer, same type of deal, music infusion, rhythms, beats with light show and graphics going on around you to make you feel cocooned with the music, to feel one with the music, to feel rhythms and the visuals coming together as something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also played Res Infinite on a Vive Pro, and on a Vive Pro, because the graphical detail there was just that much of a step up, I was like gobsmacked.
Yeah,
I was just, this is beautiful.
yeah.
But
I mean, I thought Tetris was incredible. I've actually, like, when I done my 24-hour charity stream, Tetris was second to last, I believe, and I messed up. I'd been up because it's my dad's birthday the day before, and I thought it'd be a great idea, stupidly, to stay up a whole day, go to my dad's birthday, get an hour's sleep, which didn't happen because I was at the mill for so long, and then at midnight I started. So I actually didn't do 24 hours. I stayed up for like 36 or 39 or something hours in the end. And yeah, it was absolutely mental. But I honestly, like, I've only ever watched that stream once back, and it might have been Madman. He said to me, he went, GT, have you ever seen how you played Tetris in that stream? And I was like, what's he talking about? Like, it was actually one of those things where I thought, I'm so tired, I don't want to see it. It was probably terrible. But I think I played very well. I haven't watched it all. He just said yeah, I think I was just like, and it must have been boring for the chat. They must have just been, luckily, because I got loads of support then, they must have just been chatting between themselves, and I must have just been like, do you know what I mean? Nothing else mattered. Shut off from the world. And actually, that is when this game it really hits you, because the music, the visuals, and the gameplay, it is an absolutely amazing game. I really hope people can check it out or check out a demo.
They added a couple more things to it as well. Like people are saying, I think it's a thing as well, that there are some of the bits from the actual Tetris Effect mode where you want to go, I want that music thing, I want that level to play longer.
Yeah.
And that's going to come along. I think that'll get added back to the PSVR as well. But it's going to be good to see. Would I buy it again though? Is the other question.
No, I wouldn't personally. I'm really happy with the PlayStation version. I absolutely love it on there. So no, personally, unless I get a key for some reason, they want me to put it on there, and I don't think I will do. Because I won't be asking. If one turns up, I'll do it, obviously, but I won't be out there trying to seek it out.
Yeah, if one turned up, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll
promote it.
Out. I'll get the sub pack out. I'll be playing it on the sub pack. Don't expect good gaming from me on that one, but I would be loving it. I would definitely like to see the changes they bring with it, but I don't think I would do the double pay on that one.
Well, the only reason I never bought Tetris Effect when it came out at full price, because they had a weekend beta trying it, and it was like, yeah, this is a really good game. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to suck at it because I'm not very good at it. The one thing that put me off wasn't actually the price per se. It was a couple of bits of the music, and the one thing it just nailed me on was Las Lumines music.
Yeah,
They're reusing Lumines music, and it was that kind of was they're reusing things from Lumines. All right, I know they're expanding it for £35, so I'll wait. And I've told people, if you're unhappy with the price of a game, like I know a lot of people were unhappy about the amount of VR content that Ace Combat 7 had, I just turn around and goes, wait, you don't have to buy a game when it comes out. Wait until it's a price that you're willing to pay. Now, my price for Tetris Effect wasn't £35. It was like, no, I think that's a little bit too much for me. My cut-off price was £20. It was like, okay, as soon as I see Tetris Effect for £20, I'm going to jump in. I will buy it, because there will be times that I'll jump in and I'll just play. A bit like what you were saying, Chris, you're tired and stuff like that. Actually, I think that game works better when you're a little bit tired, because you're kind of laser focused on the game.
Yeah, you're in the present. You're in the present.
Yeah.
Your mind's not everywhere. You're sort of shutting down for the day. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, but Amazon here had it for £15.99. It's like I saw it on Amazon for £15.99. They were out of stock at the time, but obviously one of the benefits with Amazon.
Was that the physical version of the PS4?
The physical version.
Oh,
was
cool.
£15.99.
TGK was asking about that. He was saying he wants to get it and he's going to wait for a sale, so maybe you should be looking for the physical version.
Yeah, so there is a physical version, TGK. So, like I say, Amazon have had it for the best price that I saw. I say £15.99. When I did my Let's Play of it, I was saying, "Hey, I've just bought the game off Amazon." I think it took like 2 weeks for it to turn up once I'd actually placed my order. So I don't know what Amazon. I can quickly check actually while we're on site.
I know South is already checking out this guy's question. I'm sure. Have you seen it already that you asked for? You already searched it out?
I am checking it out, because I've only got the original version of the PSVR. I haven't bought the update version.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm aware, it is still the same length.
Is it 5 meters? Is it 5 or 6 meters?
14.4 foot approximate.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, cool. I think
they're only selling third party at the moment.
I'm pretty sure that both headsets are the same length. If you're looking for the differences between them, I found one's got HDR pass-through, I believe, enabled through the processing unit.
Oh, is this the headset cable? Same.
Just in general, yeah.
No, they're 100% the same. I did a video a long time ago about it. You're right, Chris. The only thing that it's got is a brand new box to allow HDR pass-through, which the first one didn't have, and it's got slightly different connections for the headphones. The headphones can actually be stored on the headset before you put them in your ears.
So I think you've got the power button there instead of on like the connection, the junction bit. You've got your mute, your volume and all that here. And yeah, basically, and this is one of the best bits about it, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but funny enough, it become one of my favourite things, is that you get these headphones here, the auxiliary jacks here, and these little headphones hang off, and then you just like put them in there when you're not using them. It's really quite cool. And instead of having the 2 cable, you've got the 1. I believe, and I think that is about it. I think weight and everything else is identical as far as everything else goes. I think.
Yeah, 'cause you don't have the controls mounted to the cable like you do with the 1 version.
No, that's it. They're all actually on the headset, aren't they? I believe they're all.
Yeah, but the actual cable length is the same.
Yeah,
you're not gaining anything.
So there you go. The cable length from the HMD to the the breakout box is the same length.
Yeah. Drew, you'll be sure to know, man. I'll put that in the Discord. We'll have to sort it out. I'm hoping to kind of go for 4-hour stints this time because we've got OBS, so we can change games regular. Basically, give me 10 minutes in between. Also, it gives YouTube a bit more extra time to process videos. If I do 24 hours of a video and leave that processing, it would take something like 3 days or something crazy. So you're better off doing like 4-hour stints. But yeah, man, as soon as you do that, obviously I'm going to sort out like a timeline, put it on the Discord, sort out what games are going to do, who wants to play them with me. And yeah, we've got to try and beat the record of, I think it was £1,200 raised for cancer research. But I think this year I'm going to go for mental health. And you know, and more so because a lot of people I know in recent times have been affected by it, and the best thing about that is they're coming out and talking about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about it. And one of the biggest or hardest things to do with someone suffering from depression or other things is actually to open up and go, I've got this problem, or I'm feeling like this way. Can we talk about it? And that's cool. And I wanted to bring that up. And you know, so that's what I want to do this year. Is do mental awareness or mental health, whatever it is. We'll put it out there, find out. I don't know what I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the charities are. I've just been sort of looking at how my life has been affected and how the interactions with people I know have been, and that has been one of the biggest things coming up. So, yeah.
Well, you know, definitely play Hellblade when you do that. We had some other things about. What I was going to talk about is another user question, which was from Deej, and like the maintenance side. Somebody's already put that kind of in there, which is lens as well. So anybody who's using VR, you've got to maintain these stuff. The lenses are important, and I've got a little bit of a kit here. The main thing you need is a decent cloth. That's the end of the day. Lint free. Decent graphic lens cloth. Yeah, it is a lens pen, and this basically removes dirt.
So apparently, this is you only get this one with the original PSVR headset. It then becomes a grey or white one if you got the second one, something like that. But I've always kept my blue one. Someone said to me like they really want this blue one, and anything you buy from VR Cover as well, automatically.
Yeah, the VR Cover gives you.
They send you
this one. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, you get a lot of them, so they're really good like that.
They are really good. So a lot of people, some people don't like lens pens. I do. These are really good. I've got like a. What are you going on? You're seeing something else. You got a bad mind there, Chris. You got a bad mind.
No, Silver's comment, man.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Geezer laying it down.
Oh God, that is such a bad joke.
It is a bad joke. Remember,
right. So you've got two different sort of sizes of lens pens. The important thing with anything with lens cleaning as well is, I have heard some people go, start from the outside of a lens. That's the wrong way to do it. Generally, you usually start from the center of a lens, clean outwards. The other thing is chemicals. Be really careful about any form of chemicals, even if it's something you use for glasses, because you've got a contained space. So you don't want any chemical cleaners in there, really, because you want to make sure not do that. So if you get something like this little set here, this has another cleaner that comes with it, which is actually in another separate plastic thing that you always put in it. Never use this type of thing on a VR headset's lenses, because your eyes are going to be inside that headset, and you don't want anything that's going to actually do damage to your eyes. So photographic stuff for cleaning lenses is usually really great, as long as it's not using a chemical. If it's using a chemical, it's really bad. And in case you're wondering what the lens pen actually does, it's just removing grease. You don't have to push hard with this thing.
All right, cool. Don't hammer it home, is what South is saying.
Don't treat it gently.
Yeah, and it ain't your pencil, so you write your name. So, when it comes, funny enough, when we was at EGX, I was getting messaged by a guy who had a scratch on his PSVR lens, and he used, and do you know what, JD actually reminded me of it. is it lens pen, or he bought? There was something on eBay or somewhere basically saying it was like a magic fix, and
lens pens, yeah.
is that? Did he get rid of scratches?
If it doesn't get rid, no, it doesn't get rid of scratches. No,
Right.
definitely.
Okay. Well, there was an issue basically, and he used this stuff he bought off eBay, which looked like, which you'd imagine a coarseness to it, and you rub it onto the lens, and it's kind of like that in between. I guess that they're going for is it's in between of it get rid of a line on the glass, but it won't scratch the glass. And what it did was it completely wrecked his headset, and he was sending me pictures saying, "GT, what can I do?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't know. Like, I can't answer you. Do you know what I mean? You get asked all sorts doing this stuff,
Yeah,
and I couldn't help him.
Yeah. The other one I'd say is a general piece of advice for anybody when it comes to accessories. Like I've got glasses, obviously. One of the most things you can do for getting the most out if you wear glasses is actually make sure to get your prescription for your glasses checked regularly. You would be shocked at just how much of a difference doing that makes, and keeping your lenses nice and clean. It's a world of difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I know we touched on Racket Nx. I thought I'll just put up the trailer quickly, just quickly talk about it. I think it's an absolutely fantastic game. That's going to be playing it, I believe, next week.
Yep.
I've already played it. Excellent. How much was it? Now I can't remember.
$14.99. I think I said that actually before it got released. That I think Oculus put it up accidentally for $14.99, which is why I knew the price. But yeah, it's $14.99. It looks like a lot of fun. It really does. Both, I think, single player, but obviously multiplayer will most probably give it legs.
And let me know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it.
Let me know what you think of the visual quality of this game, because I thought it was absolutely amazing personally. And it is weird because you don't want to go mad about certain things, like go, oh yeah, because some people might come along and go, I don't know what you talked about, it's not absolutely mind blowing, but I found it brilliant, as you know, for what they're trying to do. I thought it was great.
Definitely. And play a game with you multiplayer. So
yeah, man, yeah, we should be able to do that, definitely. Another game coming next week, I think, to PSVR is Saber. Which, yeah, I've seen a little bit about it. I've also applied for a key via their website and Facebook because it's multiplayer. I'm not saying my hopes are high for this one, but at the end of the day, if it's multiplayer, dude, I'm going to check it out. What was that? Is it Voltron, where you had the lions that connected to make...
Oh, yeah, Voltron, yeah.
That's what this kind of reminds me of. And also,
oh,
the fact that you can jump really high, kind of like jumping flash high, and attack from up above and stuff. So it kind of looks like Battlezone with the ability to jump.
This is looking like a cross between Voltron and Cyberpilot, and Cyberpilot is coming out next week as well.
Yeah, I don't know about Cyberpilot. Hold on now. Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. Hold him back. Hold him back. I'm looking forward to Saber. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I hope I get a yes from the developers, because I am strapped for cash at the moment, personally. But yeah, I think it looks really good. Cattle Zone. Yeah, I mean, the graphics look a bit basic. It looks quite cel shaded, but the gameplay could be solid. And it looks fast as well.
Yeah. If gameplay is solid, yeah, you know, anything like that, I'm into that.
I know nothing about control methods. I don't know if it's moves, DualShock, aim.
I would have thought it'd be DualShock 4 by the looks of it.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think DualShock 4 with head aiming, head tracking, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wish more games would actually put in head aiming.
Do you know Telefrag had that as well? Telefrag had that.
Oh, did it? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I've only saw someone else play it the other day. And
Briggs as well had head tracking and head movement.
Yeah. Valkyrie was the main one that I always remember having head tracking
for
aiming, because like I say, it's one of the reasons I traded in Valkyrie. I thought they once they made Warzone and opened it up for flat screen players, it just seemed off to me. There was something different about it, because at the end of the day, if you put a VR player against even a player with keyboard and mouse, you're going to destroy them. Because all you got to do is look, and you're locked on. So
I loved Rigs for that. I was gutted that it didn't do that well, because it had a lot of fantastic. Graphically, it was fantastic. Rigs. It played brilliantly well. I wish they actually would have concentrated more on the battle side of it and gave us more game modes, because that could have been great. And then Code 51 come out. That's my favourite online mech game on PlayStation VR. Which no one really seems to play or talk about, but that is a good game. So yeah, that's Saber.
The one thing I will actually say about Rigs, and we haven't had a chance to discuss it, we might be able to fit it in, is a long time ago I said about Rigs when it got announced that it was its user base was falling, and then it was the very first PlayStation Plus game that was given away. VR game on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And it reinvigorated the servers. And my comment at the time is that's all well and good, but what Sony, I think, needed to do is speak to Oculus and offer it to Oculus as a cross-play game. That would have added value definitely to it, especially with where VR was at the time.
Right.
And obviously, that leads into something else. But carry on with the obviously the other games this week, please.
No worries. Next, we've got Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, and I'm just going to let Nat take over here for a second. I'm just going to sit back and watch the fireworks.
But this is not Wolfenstein. How dare you call it Wolfenstein? At least Doom, and I know Doom had its detractors, was a Doom game. It was a first-person, fast-paced shooter. Wolfenstein also should be a first-person, fast-paced shooter where you're killing Nazis. I do not want to be a dog that shoots crap. I don't want to be a mech that's shooting crap. Fine in other games. That is not Wolfenstein. I was not impressed by Wolfenstein when it first got announced. I was even less impressed with Wolfenstein Cyberpilot at this year's E3. And to be honest, it sounds like Bethesda ain't impressed with it because they gave it short shrift. They didn't show anything about, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. So yeah, I have no intention, unless it literally comes out and it gets unanimous praise. I have no intention of buying Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. As far as I'm concerned, it's a bastardization of what Wolfenstein should be. Now, is that strong enough for you?
It seems it. I think that's what he was expecting. Sorry, I was just waving around my steel case version of Wolfenstein 2 there.
Silver said, does that mean you're going to review it now?
No.
I think you should, dude. And then Fez put, no wonder you don't get any keys.
No, I get keys. I get keys from developers.
I got keys.
I do want to play it.
I do.
I do want to play it because
it's Wolfenstein and it's Bethesda.
Yeah. It's a Wolfenstein title, and you're going to get to be a cyber doggy and burn some Nazis.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But I'm not expecting much from it. I'm not expecting much from it though. To be honest, I'm not expecting great.
Have they let us down yet though? I mean, have they? I don't think so.
What, Bethesda?
Yeah.
Sorry, not Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda. Well,
is it Wolfenstein? It's software.
You haven't played the Fallout 4 VR yet, have you?
No, I haven't played Fallout 4 VR. What are you going to say?
That it's not as good as Skyrim.
Oh, okay. What do you mean, as a game or a VR experience?
Its VR implementation just was not, or is not as good as Skyrim.
I just wish I'd never played Skyrim and I'd never played Fallout before I played the VR versions. Because when I played Skyrim, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It's great in VR. But it's still, after, you get over the wowity, I am like, is that a word? I'm still like, it's still Skyrim, And I wish, because I played it on so many different platforms, it would have been nice to be able to maybe carry on my journey.
I never played the platforms. I never played on any other platforms. Same with Fallout 4. I've got to get back onto play Fallout 4 because I've got VR version of it as well. I tried it a bit off a stream just to make sure how it was, a bit. But they're big, long games. They're huge, big games. But Skyrim just never appealed to me on as a flat screen game.
Oh, mate, it did me. That intro music for Skyrim is...
Well, that sold me on the game. I played Elder Scrolls Oblivion and didn't get on with it. I just couldn't crack it for whatever reason. And then you had all the hubbub over Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and I was just like, no. And I went into Sainsbury's, and literally, because I always go into Sainsbury's, pick up my lunch and stuff, and I was walking past their game section, and Skyrim had literally just come out that day. And I just walked past the game section, and then on the TV behind me, that music started kicking in. And I started listening to it, and I was just like, what's that? And I turned around, and I just literally stared at Skyrim, playing, just the advert playing on this thing. And I was just like, oh, I got to buy this bloody game now, because that music's friggin' awesome. And even though the PS3 version was horribly bugged, I mean, it literally went down to like single digits frame rates at some points.
Wow.
It was that bad until they patched it, but it still wasn't that great. But I put in over 200 hours into Skyrim on PS3.
Wow.
That game just took over everything that I did. And like I say, I had no interest in buying Skyrim. I was just like, didn't go on with Oblivion. Why would I buy Skyrim? Could be crazy. And then literally I didn't play anything else for weeks. I was playing Skyrim until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So Skyrim holds a special place for me.
How did you find it in VR then? Did you love it in VR?
I've put in about 20-25 hours.
Is that because you had to restart, or?
I've got to admit, if to be honest, I'd have most probably restarted anyway. But I did want to see what it was. I was disappointed with the move controls. I know they fixed them, but again, the lack of analog sticks, I think, really hurt Skyrim. So I played it with DualShock 4 in the end, just because I found it an easier experience. Because a bit like I think it was Drew was saying, you had to think about what you were doing, and I didn't want to do that. And with the DualShock 4, I didn't have to think what I was doing. I knew where the buttons were, what I was pressing. So I had a more pleasurable experience. I've got to admit, the patch, and I only played about an hour of it once it patched, was a big improvement in terms of the visuals. I think
it's amazing.
It didn't look very good. So they really did a good job with the patch. The problem is with Skyrim is, again, Sals has explained it, it's a really long game.
Yeah.
There is so much to do, and for me, it's just too much at the moment.
If you've got the time, it's great. I mean, I did comparison videos for Skyrim, so I had to try and do the same bit of storyline over and over again. I've still got another set, so I've literally played about 10 or 20 hours of the same thing 8 times over.
Right.
So it's like, so I haven't had the time to, actually go through as far into the actual game as I'd like. So I've played like 100 odd hours of Skyrim VR, but I've only got like 20 hours in, or 10, 20 hours in.
Yeah.
Which is like dull.
So the last video I brought up was No Man's Sky VR. It's just got some extra footage. It's an older video from Game Informer, I think it is, or Game Informer. They had a little bit more than what the trailer had. Why has this not happened yet? And a quick hello to anyone who's joined that I've missed. Nerfenstein, Tim Walker. There's been quite a few of you. I do apologise. She always said hello to Papa Chicken. Who else did we have in here that jumped in? JRB, the gamer, Black Cat. Yeah, Tommy the Cat in the VR hat. I don't know if they're still here or not, guys, but thank you for joining. Thank you for hitting the like button. I really appreciate that. And thank you for being here. Yeah, so No Man's Sky, I've been told, has got a simple version or a simplified version, which I need to do from the beginning because I don't think I'm going to have time to learn this. So, JD...
It's a big thing. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
JD has put, I believe they'll release it on the anniversary, which is in mid-August, which I'm so pleased with because I won't be around, which I was saying, to announce for 2 weeks. I'll go on holiday. So, yeah, I'm really pleased about that. So, you guys, have you played No Man's Sky? I think we talked about it last week, quickly. You both played it.
I played it. I didn't put a huge amount of time in because I found No Man's Sky initially when it came out very repetitive. There wasn't that much to do. It's just like, oh great, I go on this planet, I mine stuff, leave the planet, go to another planet, mine stuff, sell the stuff in a space station. Now it's not Beyond. What was the update they did last year? Next was the update, I think, last year. And I had a load of people turn around to me saying, you need to give Next a try. Now, I'd actually brought No Man's Sky just before Next because I actually... I was under the impression, and I believed that the VR patch was going to be released with Next. Obviously, Next was that No Man's Sky was coming to Xbox, as well as adding multiplayer or a version of multiplayer in. So I've had literally No Man's Sky sitting on my shelf for over a year now. I'm not going to jump back into it until the Beyond update hits, the VR update, because I am literally prepared to start afresh, brand new on No Man's Sky and just see where that game leads me. But I've had so many friends to me saying, oh, you've really got to try No Man's Sky. It's so much better than what it was when it launched. I actually traded my game in. I'll give a shout out to the place that I order my games from, shop2.net. They actually delivered the game to me. Within 2 days, I was bored of it. And I actually traded it into CEX and actually got more money trading it in than I actually paid for it as well. So I was really happy.
Yeah, man, that's a touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Coming up as well about if people can use HOTAS as well. That, you know, Papa Chicken is saying if he can use his HOTAS that he will not be leaving No Man's Sky. And I've got to agree, I want to be able to use my HOTAS in No Man's Sky as well. But I also then want to be able to pick up my my other controllers to use natural motion as well for when you're walking outside of ships, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting mix to see how that comes about.
Right, yeah, and right, so the last video of the show, because we have got to go. This is something for Sal, so you really wanted to bring this up and share it with all of you. Something you played this week called... What's it called, Sals?
Oh my balls.
Oh my balls, which is kind of like a game I remember on the Xbox 360 called Zuma, which I found incredibly addictive. So
yeah, Zuma was also on the iPad as well. The first iPad. It's one of the games that came with the iPad.
Okay.
And it exactly what you're saying. It's that type of addictive, ball busting, ball matching game.
But these balls kind of look swollen. They're all massive balls.
They are gigantic because they are big compared to you, and you shoot them like you're in an FPS game. It's great like that. I like that this is a fresh twist to the game, of that puzzle game, because it's like it uses the same mechanics. It's still got that addictive quality to it, but it's got something fresh to bring.
Big balls.
Big giant balls that you can bang if you get them the right colour. I mean, you got to get rid of the blue balls for a start.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just wanted to, yeah. So, excellent, fantastic. Well, that is.
Come on, you had to laugh at that one. It's a great one to get into. I think.
Turn it off.
It's it's a good, nice twist. I found it really addictive. This is early access, so if this is early access and it was really getting me addicted to it, then I think that's ringing like, hey, this could be really good. So it felt really good. I think it's a good game, one to watch out for. I hope it does well.
Fantastic. So yeah, that's it from the VR link for this week, guys. Thank you all for joining. Thanks to the patrons of the channel. Thank you for any donations. Thank you for the likes, especially for the comments, because this show is about you and virtuality, pretty much. So yeah, check out these guys' channels. As always, I will put a link to their channels, and if I forget, please. I do apologise. I did forget for about 4 days last time, but definitely check them out. Sales to Catch Up, VR, and Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming. And I'm sure they can be found as easy as I can on Twitter, YouTube. If you guys have got your channels, you can chuck them in the chat quickly if you've got time. But yeah, because we've got a bit of an outro anyway, a little bit of video we always put up. But yeah, excellent. Thank you
very much for joining us.
Yeah, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and look forward to another week of virtuality content. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be busy as always.
Very busy this week, hopefully.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be busy. And also, I want to do a bit of Star Trek before I go on holiday with some people. That's something I really want to do. Hey?
Star Trekking it up. You're going to be captain.
That's the only role I can really do properly, I think, is captain. I can't really do any of the others. You got to use, you know what I mean? I'm all right at the others, but I think everything I did in that game was to be a captain. The Kobayashi Maru, try and get the best time, like. So it can get a little bit stressful sometimes.
Oh, I love it when it all falls apart. It's more fun that way. But it's just like, what are you doing? You ain't doing.
Everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire. You know, you need to raise the shields. No, the shields. I'll definitely be up for that. 100%.
Suddenly the outro becomes a bit more chat.
Yeah, you know how it is, guys. Yeah, so everyone, thank you ever so much for joining. I could go for all your names, but you know, I mean, you know, thank you. Really appreciate you all being here, as always. So take care of yourselves. See you next Sunday, and then yeah, bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.